virtually. It's a great, crisp December morning, and I welcome you to our December board meeting. And I will begin the meeting by reminding us of our mission, which is to promote overnight visitation that drives economic impact through destination marketing and enhancement of the visitor experience in Elizabeth City and Pasquotank County. Having called the meeting to order, I will now ask for the approval of the agenda. Everyone received the materials, and I trust that you have had an opportunity to review said materials. So I will now call for a motion for the approval of the agenda, today's agenda.
I'll make that motion, Madam Chairman. Second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. I see that someone is waiting. Okay, and a second for the approval of the agenda. We will conduct a roll call for the remainder of the members.
Gwen?
Approved.
Arthur?
Approved.
Rhonda? Approved. Jeff made the motion, Andy second. Linnea?
Approved.
Dean?
Approved.
Has Abel joined us yet?
No, he's not here yet.
And Johnny?
Approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our agenda stands approved, and we will move as printed. Any public comment?
No.
Okay, thank you. We would now move to the minutes for the approval of the October 22nd minutes. Again, I trust that you all have read those minutes, and I will now open the floor for the approval of said document.
So moved, Madam Chairman.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the approval of the October 22nd, 2020 minutes. Any questions or concerns? Hearing none, we will move forward for a roll call vote of that document.
Gwen?
Approved.
Arthur?
Approved.
Rhonda made the second. Jeff?
Approved.
Andy made the motion. Linnea?
Approved.
Dean?
Approved.
Johnny?
Approved.
And Abel is still not with us, right?
Correct.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Our minutes stand approved. We'll now move on to the finance report, and we will turn the microphone over to Arthur. Arthur?
Okay, the committee did meet. We actually had quite a bit to talk about. We'll talk about much more of that in our report, and then we got a couple of votes later on. But as far as the statement goes, one of the things that I noted was that and obviously this encompasses our high season, but in the basically in the first 3 months of the year, we've met 47% of our budgeted revenues for the year. So that's awfully encouraging, and hopefully that'll help carry us through what I'm afraid is going to be a cold, dark winter. Of additional note, you'll notice there was a new line item to be able to have a place to put these various grants related to the virus that the staff has done such a good job in getting. And on the second page of the statement of revenues and expenditures, under marketing, you'll see $12,500 in research, which was money that went for the sign project that we'll talk about more later. It's actually in last year's budget, but due to the virus, it did not get actually completed last year. It will show up as an encumbrance on our audit. Because it basically was a contractual obligation, but it had yet to be performed, so it was not a payable. You know, there could be a chance at the end of the year that we would have to come back and make a budget amendment for that. But we'll just wait until we get to that point. And other than that, everything else looked in line. And I'll make a motion to approve as presented and open the floor for any discussion.
Okay, thank you, Arthur. So there is a motion for the approval of the October finance statement. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the approval of said document. Any questions or concerns? Hearing none, we will move forward then for the roll call vote of the October finance statement. Susan?
Gwen,
Approved.
Arthur made the motion, Rhonda, approved. Jeff,
Approved.
Andy second, Linnea,
Approved.
Dean,
Approved.
Johnny,
Approved.
and still no Abel, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. That document stands approved. Thank you. We'll move right into our committee reports. And Arthur, back to you.
Okay, Karina updated us that our audit is complete. We should be getting presented that from the auditors in January. Let's see, that one has a vote. Skip that. We added, we're going to be adding another income line to cover just miscellaneous items. What prompted this is we actually got a $50 donation from a community member. And so we will be adding another line item up in our revenue section that would cover that and in any other small, items that don't fit in one category. Karina had received notice from North Carolina's capital management that they were actually closing. There we have two different accounts, a term account and what they term a government trust account. And they were closing the term account because of the interest rate environment. It was not, did not make sense for them to manage two different accounts. And so they had us go ahead and move our monies from what had been a higher yielding instrument into their other one. But then that prompted the staff to look farther, and what we discovered was that currently in the environment that we're in, our local bank at Union Bank in the money market was actually paying us more than either one of the capital management trust accounts. And so the committee recommended that the staff go ahead and move all of the money with the exception of leaving a little bit, because we wanted to keep that account open with them and not have to reopen it, because we feel certain that one day things will turn around and they will be offering higher rates.
Right.
But at this time, now almost all of our money is back with Union Bank, because they were paying us more money.
Okay.
The only other item I'll report on at this time is that we went ahead and voted to follow through with our traditional 1% Christmas bonuses for the staff. And beyond that, we'll come across 3 items later on in the agenda that will require votes.
Right.
And so that ends my report for now.
Wonderful. Arthur and the Finance Committee for your work. Any questions right now of Arthur? Okay, great. Thank you. We'll now move to the Marketing Committee. Rhonda?
Good morning, everyone. The Marketing Committee met on November 12th. I want to thank the members that were able to meet. I had a last-minute conflict that prevented me from being here. But I think it's important to note that the most of the ads and most of the programs and promotions that we spoke of last month are moving forward. And one of those, I think, Calling All Elizabeths, if you recall, we were trying to make a connection with personal, from Betty's to Elizabeth's to Beth's. And this promotion is creating some measurable attention. It's been mentioned in Travel and Leisure, the New York Post, and on Fox News, among others. And Travel and Leisure, of course, is one of the largest worldwide travel publications. So any mentions of that sort in a piece like that is very, very well done. The romantic getaway to Elizabeth City that we did with our state provided 2,000 new leads, and that's important too, because we want to make sure that we're capturing all the people who are taking time to enter that, and that adds a lot to our list, so people will be continuing to find out information about Elizabeth City. The Our East City promotion, Shop and Dine Pass, is moving forward. There were 30 local businesses participating, and I really want to thank the local businesses that were willing to be a part of this, because this is a big deal. We know that foot traffic is not in many places what we would like for it to be, so we're pushing the social media, and this is a big help for them. And then Our East City, the actual promotion, will launch tomorrow night with First Friday Art Walk. There will be a table at the corner of Main and Poindexter, is that correct?
Yeah, by the PNC Bank, we'll be on the PNC Bank.
Okay, very good. And part of that includes an opportunity for artists with AOA to participate in a design contest for the East City postcard. And obviously, as much fun and as much attention we got last year with our Christmas in Elizabeth City promotion last year, that's going to be obviously scaled back for this year. So Our East City is going to be the big promotion moving forward. And I'm sure Corey will be speaking a little bit more about that in your report. Thank you.
Wonderful. Rhonda and Mark, thank you so very much for your continued hard work. We know that it is imperative that even during these challenging times that we stay focused on our goals and making certain that we keep our name out there and that we work towards continuing to keep our community engaged. So thank you so very much. I believe that visitor experience did not have a meeting. Is that correct, Andy? But I want to give you the microphone for any comments that you might have.
You are correct. We did not meet, but thank you for that opportunity. So we can head right over to our director's report.
Okay, and so we don't have a presentation. Thank you, Andy. So then we'll move to the, which is already on the screen. So Karina?
Thanks, Gwen. Sorry, sometimes it seems to take longer to get up on screen, so I always make sure it's done. So I will jump right into marketing updates. And as Rhonda mentioned, I just wanted to put this up there. Since last time we shared the news that Calling All Elizabeths was in Travel and Leisure, we have been on several other big name national massive networks. So this is just incredibly exciting news for us, and it's a huge opportunity for our town. So very excited to see all that. And I had the opportunity to share this Monday night with the City Council and County Commissioners. This is brand new. We just got a hit on Sunday. that Elizabeth City is listed as one of 5 idyllic small towns to visit in 2021 on Forbes, which is pretty damn cool, to say the least. Be on a short list of 5 towns, considering all the small towns in America, and Forbes has over 38 million unique monthly visitors to their website. So super excited about that one, and it was fun to get to share that with City Council and County Commissioners on Monday, and now with everybody here. So it's always good to start with some successes. Moving ahead, as Rhonda mentioned, we are launching Our eCity tomorrow. We have started with 5 famous locals who wrote blogs for us. 2 of them are shown on the screen. We have Mayor Parker, Jessa from Dear Alchemy, and 3 others. You're welcome to take a look at all of those. We've invited the famous locals to come by our table tomorrow night, so hopefully we'll get pictures and all that fun stuff. And other stuff with Our eCity is we do have t-shirts, cups, and picture frame magnets, and consumers all around town can win swag by posting a photo and engaging with us on social media, becoming another blogger, because we want to continue these blogs about why I love Elizabeth City, to continue to show that positive energy, and also using the Shop and Dine Pass that Rhonda mentioned. We also have a send a postcard opportunity on the website. Redesigned 3 postcards with photographs currently. And they basically all say on the back, come visit me in Elizabeth City. So a consumer can go on our website, fill out a form, pick which postcard they like, put all the info in, and we will mail it for them. So we're looking forward to that. And following up with that, in addition to the photograph postcards, we'd also like some postcards created by local artists, because art is something that's important to our community, and it really ties in with the theme, Our eCity. So we partnered with Arts of the Albemarle to do a postcard contest. That just launched this week. There's up to $1,000 in prize money. So each winning artist could win up to $250, so 4 different designs. And AOA is managing the technical aspect of the contest, but we're partnering on all costs and promoting it, and we're hoping we'll get some cool postcard designs to add to our campaign. Moving ahead, the Shop and Dine Pass also just launched. Again, if you guys have not downloaded it or signed up for it, please do. It's super simple to sign up for and use. And you can go around town and check into businesses, and about half the participating businesses provided an offer or a discount. But even if they didn't, if you check into 10 businesses, you get a free t-shirt. If you check into 25, you're entered to win the grand prize of $250 in local gift cards. And in just the 5-ish days, I have to count, that we launched it, we've had 216 past signups, 4 t-shirts redeemed already, which I thought was pretty cool. And we can see on the back end that some of those people actually were shopping because they were redeeming the coupons that are in the system. This is fascinating. 288 page views of the Shop and Dine Pass landing page with an average of almost 6 minutes a page, which is unheard of. That means people are actually reading and consuming that content. And even better, 180 brand new email opt-ins, so we can talk to these people in the future. So super excited about this already, but we need to keep the momentum going, and I ask all of you to help with that. And I just had to share this on a personal note. If you did in the Daily Advance, this is my stepdaughter, Madeline. She is 19 years old and a sophomore at Virginia Commonwealth University in the art department. This is her final exam for her figure drawing class. And this mural will be, it is on the Fitness Warehouse building on Poindexter Street. So we've had a lot of fun helping her do that. It's her very first mural, and she is looking forward to doing more. And it's kind of a win-win because it costs the city nothing, it costs us money, but that's her college expense. but it's going to make the city more beautiful, and she gets experience. So just wanted to share that. That is, I'll pause there for a second. See if there's any questions or comments on the marketing and the successes. Yes, sir.
And I do feel that, you know, whatever we do, there's nothing wrong with critiquing something because it makes it better, or at least put the thought out there that it could be done better, you know. And I did talk to Debbie. I told her that downtown, you know, you have a lot of alleyways, and we need to include more people doing the murals, maybe. You know, if you can get College of the Albemarle, ECSU, and MACU, the city product is buy paint. I mean, paint shouldn't be no big problem, but we need more people. Because when you put things out there and you use clip arts, diversity helps. You know, the more diversity you show, it helps.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
this
just wanted to add that part.
well, we've got the Coke mural, which was, I don't know who did that, but we've got a few other artists. So I completely agree with you that diverse artists bring different perspectives. So,
And that's what people see when they read information. Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, moving ahead to COVID-19 and the state of the travel industry. I'll try to go through this stuff pretty quickly, but there's some interesting information. Again, we've looked at this chart every month since April, and you can see going all the way over to November 7th, while we have climbed out of our bottom of $2.6 billion a week, this is national tourism spending, it's really flattened out, and we just don't seem to be getting much higher, although the prediction, of course, is there'll be another little peak for Thanksgiving, but that data hasn't been released yet. And looking at North Carolina specifically, again, the trend is almost identical. North Carolina seems to have climbed out a little bit better than the country, which is good. Still massive losses, sadly. And this is our data. Again, it looks differently because we have monthly data. The other two charts are weekly data, so it doesn't quite look the same, but the trends are very similar. The sharp decline. Again, we climbed out a little bit faster. We are doing better than some of our peers, and our STAR data shows that as well. And that's our sad number of what we've lost so far year over year. But our silver lining is we have gotten over 90,000 in grant dollars, which is really helping to offset that number. Looking at our Smith Travel Research data, this is for the month of October. I'll really just point out the year-to-date numbers. So this is Elizabeth City and Pasquotank County. We're down about 20% in occupancy and 26%, which is the real number when it comes to money in RevPAR. We go all the way over here to the right and look at the Northeast region of North Carolina. So comparing ourselves with everybody else in our region, we're pretty darn similar. ADR seems to be holding higher with some of our peers, but the RevPAR at down 23% and we're down 26% is pretty close. So Northeast North Carolina is doing okay. Not great, but okay. And then I wanted to show this. The U.S. Travel Association does this quarterly forecast of what they think travel will look like going forward. And you can see, again, if we look at in 2018, there were 2,278 trips in the U.S., 2,300 in 2019, obviously 2020 it plummets. But what we can really see is there's a gradual climb back out, and it's not going to be until 2023 is what they're currently predicting that we'll be back to where we were in 2019. You can also see, because it splits out down here, business travel climbs out much more slowly. Leisure travel recovers quite a bit faster, which is good for us because we don't rely as much on conventions as other destinations do. All right, sharing some of the data that we've looked at every month from Destination Analysts. This is, as a reminder, what American travel consumers are thinking and feeling. So I'll just, they've asked this same question. How do you expect the severity of the coronavirus situation to change in the next month? They've asked consumers this question every week since March. And I'll just go all the way to the end here. What people are currently thinking, and this most recent data is very recent, it's right around Thanksgiving. There's a 4-to-1 variance between, for every 4 people who think it's going to get worse, only 1 thinks it's going to get better. And this is just important for us to be aware of because it impacts how consumers respond to our advertising and our messaging and anything like that.
Right.
I also point out, this is a new question that they asked. Over 56% of travelers support more restrictive COVID rules, and only about 19% don't. And almost 70% feel that we should be following what the government says we should. And again, only 7% think it's not important to follow those rules, which is interesting because I know Bree and I in particular run into quite a few negative comments on some of our social media posts, especially if we post a picture of somebody wearing masks. We need to realize that that person is in the minority and that those masks and those pictures and showing safety continues to be hugely important. So that was for you and me. And then again, another question, people are looking forward to the vaccine coming out. And of course, this research was done before Pfizer's approval, which just happened yesterday. 51% feel optimistic about traveling safely. There's a fair amount of people, though, who are still neutral. But that said, I thought this was interesting. Once they get a vaccine, the top 2 trips that people still want to take are to visit friends and family and short regional trips, which continues to be good for us. So this is important information that will help us do a better job. And then I came across this, the Harris poll. They've been doing data about Americans for literally 20 years. But this report was very interesting to me because it's about the March through April timeframe, March through August timeframe, and how we've changed as a society. So just really quickly, while we've been home quite a bit more, people's lifestyles have changed and they're not home alone with parents. They're home with adult children. And so there's a lot of positive feelings that people are feeling: appreciative, thankful, compassionate, grateful. And I thought that was was nice to see because I think, again, on social media and in the news, we see a lot of people being angry or overwhelmed. And those feelings are there, but the positive ones are actually standing out more. Just good to be positive. It's very important for us and our businesses to acknowledge the huge acceleration of digital consumerism. So while about half of Americans say, I miss shopping in person, almost 8 in 10 are perfectly satisfied buying stuff online that they used to buy in person. That's huge. And going back to safety, more than half will only shop in store if the store is visibly taking steps to protect their employees. And I could literally do a presentation for an entire hour just on how fast the world is changing to digital consumerism. So I just have this one, but I just point that out for all of us, especially our small businesses and our businesses that don't have websites and don't have shopping online. Anything we can do to help encourage them to move in that direction will help them succeed over the long term. People don't expect life to really go back to normal. And you can see, again, these questions were asked every month from March through August. And it fluctuates as the virus gets worse. People are less interested in. Take a while. We go all the way to the end here. Only 18% of consumers will take a cruise. once the government says, okay, things are fine, which I know cruises don't impact us, but going out to dinner, going to a gym class, staying in a hotel, going to the movies, they all do. None of these numbers is huge. Again, important for us to know this is what the American public is thinking. And finally, people don't expect life to go back to normal. They expect travel to be different. So this is different or very different or somewhat different when COVID is over. 70% of people think travel will be different, period. It's just 67%, we were just talking about shopping, expect shopping to be different. So that is my quick review of the world as it is today. And I'll pause there again. Any questions?
One, I don't know if y'all have experience, like for instance, Spook who does the, they go pick your groceries, set up a time to go pick it up and they bring it out to your car. Well, spoil the hell out of it. They shop. They tell you if you ask for a certain brand of sugar and they don't have it, then they say, well, we're going to substitute this brand, and then you get the right to say yay or nay or whatever. And then they tell you when it's ready, you just pull up, boom, and put on your credit card. I mean,
It's pretty amazing. Isn't
it? It is. It is. I don't know if that's ever going to go away or not.
I don't think that's going to go away. I mean, the growth of Amazon in the last 6 months is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just,
I don't think anything will be the same anymore. But I don't think we're getting enough local info, the message locally or what others are doing, because, you can get takeaways from anything. If it's working for them, it could work for us. But we need to know what's going on. If we change with the times, it won't be like it was. And times are changing. It's an effort that things never stay the same. It's got to change.
we do have to change.
I will like to say one thing. I'm not going to get in trouble saying this, but obviously we have a control group that's made up of the mayor, me, the two county, city county manager, Christina. And one of our concerns was restaurants that weren't following the executive orders. And how do you go about by trying to make it enforceable? And we were ready to even pass a resolution and send it to the governor to try to give the health department some teeth. And so we have found out, and I just want you to know that it's complaint driven. But if a restaurant, if the state board, health department board receives a complaint, and there's a letter sent to that restaurant telling them that they need to be in compliance, gives them a certain time, the health board comes back, they get checked again. Third time, if they still are found out, they can be shut down. And a club might get, I can't mention their names because they don't even tell us their names, but there's an average of 4 to 5 restaurants that are receiving letters a week here in Mississippi.
A week?
And that was the biggest, I don't know if you feel calls, but I get a lot of calls about people about how to get people lines. And I was happy to hear that. Not that I want to shut anybody down, but still, but I just wanted to pass that on. I think I said it about.
Wow.
Calls any, keep it in confidence anyway. But I just, I felt at ease once we found out that would be it. But it's complaint driven. Because the health board does not have the authority to go in and do an inspection. They can go in.
What I expressed to the city council is that prevention is the key. You don't wait to get into a surge and then try to stop it. Or you still got that time frame in between so many days, but it could be so bad then, a surge on a surge. And in Elizabeth City, we can't afford to have one. We only have so many beds and a lot of sick people like me. I need a bed if I need it, Don't have the hospital closed down because we don't have enough beds. So it's important. And we need to message that every time we get a chance to follow the restrictions and the mandates.
Absolutely.
So it's very important.
So, Karina, thank you for that report. And just a couple of notes. You mentioned about receiving some, I guess, negative comments from a post where people did have on masks. But imagine the number of comments that would have been received had you not, because based on your data, based on the data that you shared with us, you know, people are pretty serious about this. And as Mr. Walton said about following proper protocol and procedures. So, and those kinds of posts that show that we are very serious about that is going to impact those readers from Forbes and people that are home and they're reading more, they're paying attention more, and they are going to be planning. People are, although they are dealing with today, they're thinking about the future and what it will look like. And I believe that with the positive marketing that's been done through this, they're going to remember that. And so again, we won't be concerned about those negative comments. We're more concerned about proper protocol and procedure. So good job with regard to that. And thank you for your in-depth report. Are there any questions or of Karina with regard to the report? Thank you for keeping us updated with what the people are thinking. So we'll move then right into old business, and I will turn it back over to Karina.
Thank you, Gwen.
For wayfinding presentation.
Correct. And apologies to Johnny and Jeff, who already saw this on Monday night, but our board needed to see it too. And Dean and Linnea, I think this program in particular is going to be brand new to the two of you. So I'll start by saying this is a project that we started about a year and a half ago. And it is a collaboration between ECDI, the city, the county, the Chamber, Economic Development, and Tourism. And we worked together initially to agree that we felt that this was an important project for the community. We wrote an RFP to find a consultant. We read the responses, we interviewed the finalists together, and we universally hired Bizzell Design. So this presentation was actually done by Buzz Bizzell of Bizzell Design, and yes, he is the coolest name ever. And he came and presented Monday night at the joint City Council County Commissioners meeting, and I'll do my best to channel Buzz and present quickly to you. So my mouse is being funny now. I apologize. There we go. So really briefly, there's 5 objectives for this wayfinding plan. And the first one is kind of obvious. It's that there'll be a unified approach to giving directions. So we've developed a plan to determine where all of our signs need to go, what they need to say, which direction the arrows point in, that kind of a thing, so that our locals and our visitors know where to go, and they all look the same and they're all written the same way. Buzz and the team logged literally hundreds of miles driving and walking and taking photographs to build this entire comprehensive plan. The plan itself, there's 2 books, and there's over 121 drawings, maps, hundreds to give DOT all of the information they need to determine if this plan is good. So just so you know, the plan took a lot of time to do. And by the way, the reason it got delayed was shocking, COVID. So we are here now. The second main objective is location association. And that is, it's super important, and it makes locals and visitors feel more confident when they know where they're going and they start seeing the same things over and over again. The third objective, I think our board may have heard this before, and this is kind of cool. Most wayfinding, you think it tells you how to get somewhere, our program also tells you where to stop and get out of your car so you can spend money with our local businesses. The parking is a huge piece of wayfinding. Fourth is branding. Branding is huge. Of course, we want to have consistent branding across the entire community. And I'll point out what Buzz did. What's really cool about this is these are signs that are in the DOT right of way with our message, our information, and our logo on them. If we were to do billboards, as a reminder, the billboard we did through our grant program with Visit NC, we paid $10,000 to have a digital billboard, which means it's only up as it rotates in Raleigh for 30 days. So while this program is not inexpensive, we're going to have these signs for years and years to come. And benchmarking, and this is really interesting, and Buzz does have case studies of this, but quickly what he said tends to happen is when the community steps up to the plate and develops these high quality signs with great branding, then other entities, institutions, or small businesses start going, oh, well, that looks really good. I'm going to step my game up and have my thing look better. And then this is not an overnight thing, but over time, the whole community looks better and more unified. And I'll point this out as well. These signs are recognized and approved by DOT, and they're actually in the, don't ask me what this is, but the MUTCD manual. And I found out, I didn't know this, but on Monday night, Buzz said DOT actually hired him to help write some of the specifications that are in their manual. This just shows an example of what our family of signs will look like. And this shows, it's a couple pages from the book that shows, again, the whole process, how they have to be installed, that they're breakaway poles, all of these DOT things that are required, all of the signs, and that each sign has an aerial photo and a ground level photo to show DOT where that sign is proposed to go. Mind you, they could ask us to change a couple. Finally, this plan also includes a proposed renewed kiosk at Mariners Wharf. Obviously, this kiosk would be great because it complements the whole signage system. They're all branded the same way. This kiosk would have a great big pedestrian map on it, and it would have the same ability to pass out materials. And of course, Mariners Wharf is our gateway both for visitors who drive and visitors who arrive by boat. And then the pricing. This is not an inexpensive project. We're going to talk about that, but breaking it down into its component pieces, the downtown themed signs, including parking signs and the information kiosk, are estimated to be about $92,000. The boulevard signs, which are the larger ones, they're 5 feet by 9 feet, guys. They're huge. 27 of those is estimated to be about $156,000. So this budget includes materials, production, manufacturing, and labor to install. So, and I'll pause there for just a moment and also say, I just found this out yesterday. These signs are designed to last a century. Oh, this is a long, no, I was shocked. I did not think it would last that long. And to clarify, that means the pole, the structure, they're designed to last, you know, hurricanes and all that good stuff. The colors themselves are typically warranted for a minimum of 10 years, and you may need to, because UV rays can make them fade. So we may have to, in 10 years, start looking at that, but the structure itself, they'll be here long before any of us, you know, we'll all be dead and gone, and those signs will still be there. So while it's not inexpensive, it is an investment for a very long period of time. And then for those of you who are virtual, we do have hard copies of these here. If anybody wants a hard copy, please let me know, because they are a little bit, there's a lot of detail and they're a little difficult to read. But this just shows you, this is a downtown map and all these teeny tiny letters, A, I'm pointing at B, they tell you where the signs are proposed to go. There's a list of signs here. And these are the downtown themed signs. And then this is, you can see it's a pretty expansive map of the entire region. And again, it's very difficult to see, but there's quite a few, you know, there's signs here and all the way out here. And again, a list of those signs where they go. And then this shows you what those signs look like. And again, this was the presentation given to City Council and County Commissioners, but we could easily add Tourism Development Authority up there. What we need at this point is financial commitment in order to continue to move this project forward. Next steps include, we have to submit the plan to DOT. They have to review it and approve it, or we can't move forward. We also obviously have to do an official RFP to get real pricing. The estimate is relatively close. Buzz felt pretty confident, but we're hoping that we can get that down. We also want to work to secure additional funding sources, but even any grants or other people we ask for money, they want to know, well, do you have enough to get it going? And then another important point is there's a 6-month clock that starts ticking once DOT says, okay, your plan is approved. We've got to get it done within 6 months. So all of these things kind of have to happen together. So that said, the Finance Committee discussed this at length at our meeting. And again, City Council and County Commissioners had this information in front of them as well. Finance Committee, you know, Arthur can add to this, but I believe we agreed on recommending that the TDA should commit up to $75,000 to move this project forward. Jeff already led the county to a unanimous vote to commit up to $75,000 from the county's tourism dollars to move this project forward. And Johnny has it on the City Council agenda for December 14th. So we are hopeful if we all pool our funds, this is a great collaboration that will improve the community for a long time.
No, you summed it up. Perfect. It's an investment for a long period of time, and I think money well spent. And the more partners we can bring in, the better. Not just for money, but because it gets buy-in, it gets, you know, collaboration in the community, which is important.
I have a quick question. The signs that are already out there, I don't know where they're all at, but it looks like most of these new signs are going to be going where the old signs are at. But is there going to be an expense of having to take those old ones down?
I believe most.
Did DOT do it for us?
I don't know that as well before I came.
It seems like DOT or the city or somebody did it for us last time.
Somebody told me that those signs are not DOT spec though, but I don't know if that's accurate. And so that they would have to come down, but we did want to try to reuse, if possible, some of the poles.
Well, I think some of the sites look like, especially like the one that right there by CVS, there's one there.
We'll take them down to $75,000. We'll take them down for you.
Oh,
For $75,000. I have one question.
Yes, sir.
What happened to sign number 16 and 18?
I believe, and Debbie might be able to help too, some of the signs end up, one, when we were designing, some got removed because it was a sign that was initially put in and then it didn't make sense.
We're paying for 44, right?
We're paying for however many are on the
The
plan.
numbers out here, it's 44.
And then some of them, like one might end up being on the downtown map as an example versus the letters on the big map. The bigger difference.
I added them all up, still don't get 44 out of it.
Oh, there's the parking signs too, which are not on here. There's 6 parking signs.
It's more than 44. But, okay.
Can I chime in real quick? Can you hear me?
Yes,
We
ma'am.
can hear you.
Yes.
Karina, you were correct. You know, when we were originally reviewing these, the signs had specific numbers. And as we went through and decided some needed to be moved or removed, the numbering did not change because that made it extremely difficult to do subsequent reviews of the whole package. So there might be a number missing in the whole signage sequence. And also some of the signs are dual sided. So there is, you know, there's signage on the front and the back. I don't know if that helps answer the question.
Well, I just want to have enough information because the board that I work with, they ask a lot of questions, especially Johnny Walton. Another thing though, the restrooms, you know, to me, you know, any experience is a good or bad experience. We might need to upgrade bathrooms downtown. Cause you know, a lot of times you go in places and they don't have a place for you to use. And that's a problem.
I agree that public restrooms are important, especially in a walkable downtown area.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Make a motion to approve designating $75,000 for the wayfinding program.
Second.
Is there a second?
Arthur.
Yes, ma'am.
So we have a motion and a second? I didn't hear it.
Yeah. Andy motioned and Arthur seconded.
Okay, thank you. So we have a motion and a second for the approval of the financial commitment for the wayfinding project. We'll now move forward to a roll call vote, please, Susan.
Gwen,
Yes.
Arthur made the second, Rhonda, approved. Jeff,
Approved.
Andy made the motion, Linnea,
Approved.
Dean,
Approve.
Johnny,
Yes.
Abel.
Approve.
He was here a minute.
He said-
I think he said approved.
He said approved.
He said it again, approved. It's just really quiet.
Okay, thank you.
We heard it.
Okay, thank you. So we have an approval for the financial commitment for TDA up to $75,000 for wayfinding. Is that correct? All righty. Thank you for the presentation. And we'll now move to new business. And Karina, back to you.
Thank you.
So we'll start
hopefully
with the tourism promotion grants. Yes.
Yes. So hopefully you all recall that we had the opportunity to apply for a second North Carolina tourism promotion grant. I did email you all a copy of that contract in early November and asked for email acknowledgement. So we just need to officially ratify that you authorize me to sign that contract on behalf of us receiving $10,750 to do marketing and promotion.
Was there a motion and a second? I heard rumbling, but I didn't.
Andy motioned and Rhonda seconded.
Thank you. So we have a motion and a second for that promotion grant signature, and we'll do a roll call vote.
Gwen,
Thank you. Approved. I couldn't hear.
Arthur,
Approved.
Rhonda made the second, Jeff,
Approved.
Andy made the motion, Linnea,
Approved.
Dean,
Approve.
Johnny,
Approved.
Abel.
Approve.
Thank you.
I heard that.
Yep.
Stand approved on that. Okay, Karina.
Do you want to do the budget amendment or do you want me to?
You're on a roll.
Okay. This is the required accompanying budget amendment that goes with signing that contract. Again, I sent you a copy. It basically says we need to increase our revenue in the coronavirus grant award line item by 10,750, and then we'll increase marketing and advertising by the same amount. And that is marketing and our eCity swag items. So we just need to approve this budget amendment.
Is there a motion to approve the budget amendment?
The motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the approval of the budget amendment. We'll conduct a roll call vote.
Gwen,
Approved.
Arthur,
Approved.
Ron, is second, Jeff, Andy made the motion, Linnea,
Approved.
Dean,
Approve.
Johnny,
Yes.
Abel.
Approve.
Thank you.
Wonderful. The budget amendment stands approved. Okay, we'll move on to the finance policy edit.
Sure.
Again, we discussed this at the finance committee meeting. The brief update is during the audit process, the auditor asked a few questions about our financial policies. The good news is he commended us for writing them and adopting them because they're brand new. The only question he had in our entire financial policy document was this one tiny section under the capital improvement account. And he specifically wanted to know, because we wrote within that language how we would take money once we have it out of the account, but we never put in writing how we would put money into that account. He requested that we add a sentence to do so. And so the finance committee discussed it, and you can see on the document that I sent you, I put it up on the screen too if you want. Here we go. The original language, and then highlighted in green below that is the change, which is basically Sherry doesn't like the word shifting, so we edited shifting to transferring per her recommendation. And then we added a sentence that says funds shall be transferred to the account by a majority vote of the board during a regularly scheduled board meeting. So we just need the full board to adopt this language change as part of financial policies and procedures. Any questions?
Motion to change to our policy.
So is there a
motion and Jeff?
Thank you. So we have a motion and a second for
Can
the
you hear us,
approval.
Gwen?
I can, yes. Can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second for the approval of the edit to the finance policy. Any questions or concerns? Hearing none, we'll conduct the roll call vote.
Gwen,
Approved.
Arthur made the motion, Rhonda, approved. Jeff made the second, Andy,
Approved.
Linnea,
Approved.
Dean,
Approve.
Johnny,
Yes.
and Abel.
Approve.
Okay, wonderful. So the edit to the finance policy. I'm sorry?
Nothing.
Okay, so we have approval for this edit?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All righty. So now we'll move to other business. And so, Jeff Dixon, I believe, is he there?
Yes.
He's here.
I don't see, okay, there he is, okay. The Jeff Dixon, I believe this is your last tourism board meeting, and wanted to take this opportunity to thank you for the number of years of service since perhaps day one or the inception of this entity, and to thank you for your many, many years of service, not just to this board, but to the community at large. And your experience, your knowledge, your passion for this community we've been able to benefit from your experience, your knowledge, and your passion of this community. And so it's a little bittersweet today. We know that this will give you an opportunity to not have to meet during this time every month. But I can't imagine that someone else is not going to grab you up for something else. But we wanted to take this time to say thank you for all that you have done for the advancement of this particular board. I'm going to turn it over to Karina for comments, etc. And then we're going to open it up to board members who wish to share their expressions. Karina?
Thank you, Gwen. Well, and Jeff, you have a beer-themed gift basket in front of you, which just seems appropriate. If you can hold the glasses actually have the Visit Elizabeth City logo on them.
Okay.
So you'll every time you close, because we wanted to keep the beer cold. So it's craft beer. You got it. But I mean, I've only been here for 2 years, but you have been an avid supporter, and you've got such great, and I really appreciate your support and helping move this institution forward. So I thank you, and hopefully you'll remember us forever and ever when you enjoy those glasses. Yeah, and I didn't know if any, as Gwen said, and anybody else who's on this board with Jeff forever wants to perhaps say anything.
I'm too many, I don't think.
Well, the first morning.
I'm retired for it.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Officer, finance officer for the county. Jeff and I went to school together, graduated together, so we know each other. But he was still a good mess on the board.
No, I was just gonna say that I will certainly, I mean, for all these years and knowing, I always have to herd these kitties around here to get into meetings, but getting to know the personalities and knowing what each person kind of needs from me. And so now I'll just have to start over with somebody new. And I want to add too, that when I was talking to Lynn over at the county office about when your replacement would be announced and that kind of stuff, she just couldn't say enough about how sad she is to see you go as well. So I just want to let you know that she's been sentiment as well.
You went through the first couple of years, which were
Runs out.
Yeah.
You fly out by the seat of her pants. So. Might look at her real well.
Well, Jeff, this is not your last meeting, is it?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Well,
Yes.
I know we had a little transaction the other night in discussion, and with your knowledge, I did go back and check on it. And you were correct, I just didn't know how to make up a set forth. But when you message things, you need to have facts, and I do agree with you on what we talked about the other night. Thank you, and continue to work in the community, because we're gonna need your help. But moving forward, we got some things to do. Thank you.
I appreciate it. This by far, and it was an honor to be nominated first chairman of this new board authority. However, I was nominated again, so I must have done something wrong. 13 years, but anyway, it's outstanding to see what we had at the beginning as far as money in the bank account is what we have now, along with what the city and county, get. So it's just been uphill the whole time from a financial, which is a good thing. So I've been honored and blessed. As the new commissioner, I was like 2 years on the board. I think Matt Wood was the chairman, and he looked at me and said, "Dixon, you're gonna take this task force." At the time, the state had given the county the authority to go from 3%. You could go 4 or 5, but we wanted to go to a whole 6. We thought we could get it done pretty quick, and then we came across this lobbyist association called the Hotel Motel Association, which happened to be very powerful in the state of North Carolina. And they said they would fight it the whole way if they couldn't be at the table. And that's why the board is made up the way it is, because they were adamant that it was going to be 4, I think, at least 4 people in the Hotel Restaurant Association. All at all times. I think that's right. I'm not sure the exact number. So we sit at 5, and we added city council and county commissioner, and, a couple that didn't have it. So that's pretty much the history. And we've already had 4 executive directors, I think, if I count right, an average over 3 years apiece. So I think that's wonderful, because I know you guys get burn out. I'm telling you, from being here day one, every time we get a new executive director, the benchmark is higher and higher and higher. And Karina, I'm not saying I want to get rid of you, but whoever takes you, we're going to have a huge benchmark to wow. So anyway, thank you.
Thank you for not just what you do.
Speaking.
Legacy from your father to you, Dixon has had a tremendous impact on Wilson City, and we all appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Okay. All righty. Wonderful. It's
Sure.
our comments are done. I can't hear.
Yes.
Okay. Wonderful. Again, Jeff, thank you. Let me move to other persons on this call in this meeting. Debbie, any information you would like to share with the group?
Yes, thank you. As usual, I will try to make it brief, but I won't. To speak to Councilman Walton's remarks on the murals, we have invited students from Elizabeth City State, MACU, COA to participate in the upcoming public art bike rack project. And we have specifically reached out to a diverse group of artists in our community to participate in that as well. The Southern Hotel Window project artwork had a broad, diverse participation from artists. Just yesterday, in response to Mr. Walton's concerns, I spoke with Barry from Project Art Downtown Committee, and we are going to work on a specific mural project with a specific call to Black artists for participation. I'll say that painting murals can be intimidating to artists. It is a huge undertaking, and it's very different from painting on canvas. We're looking into the options of licensing a smaller piece of work and using some of the new technologies to apply it as a mural. And as a more long-term concept, Arts of the Albemarle has applied for a community grant that, if received, will provide dollars to develop a series of public art, not just murals, with a focus on our local Black history. And whether or not we've talked about as a group, whether or not that grant is received, that project is a focus for our arts community going forward. So just want to make sure, Councilman Walton, that you know that we're hearing you and are responding to your comments. Very good comments. I'll say that the exposure our city's been receiving has been amazing due to everything that your board, Karina, and staff are working on. It's been pretty cool to see the national exposure and see how the community has responded with local buzz. It kind of builds a pride. Aside from the national exposure, it builds a huge local pride. Wayfinding is a big deal, so thank you for approving funding for that. Karina mentioned during our presentation the map, and I want to highlight that that's a huge component of the plan. The map will have a listing of downtown businesses and amenities, I believe including bathrooms, and they will be marked on the map. A huge shout out to Bree, who has spent a lot of time. I'm sure I don't even want to know the number of hours working on this and tweaking it and designing, placement and everything. And that map will come out long before the signage does. So we'll hopefully be utilizing that the first quarter of the year. And as you know, the Downtown Christmas Window Decorating Contest has started. We have 36 businesses participating. The business owners take great pride in their decorations, and they are beautiful. We have ballots out there. So take a stroll downtown, especially at nighttime. They're absolutely gorgeous. First Friday will be held this Friday from 4 to 7. We do have 19 stops. We are hard pushing the wearing of masks, the social distancing, and the hand washing. We are sending that message strong, and businesses that do not abide or comply with the enforcement in their respective businesses won't be invited to participate in future art walks. Santa will be out and about, and he will be wearing a mask, of course. I am in the process of writing Debbie emails to the downtown businesses in regards to following the proper safety protocols with masking and social distancing and crowd control. And, they do not like to receive Debbie emails. I'll just say that. The Pasquotank River Yacht Club will be hosting their lighted boat parade on the water right after Art Walk starting at 7. The parade is visible along the entire stretch of the waterfront, so there will be plenty of room to social distance. And I just want to say thank you to Jeff for his service for many years and his support of our entire community. Your service on the tourism board will be missed. Your service on the Board of Commissioners will be missed. And, when you're rested and ready, there is an open invite to serve on the ECDI Board of Directors if you would like. And that's it for me. Happy holidays to everyone and stay safe.
Wonderful. Thank you, Debbie. Is Holly on?
She is not.
Okay. Christian?
He's not here either.
Not either. Michelle?
Good morning. Thank you. Just give a quick update of things happening at Elizabeth City State University. We did successfully complete our fall semester here on campus, so we're very excited about that. Not only was our enrollment up 13% in spite of the pandemic, we actually were able to keep COVID cases at a low with a total of 72 cases on campus. 63 of those were students and 9 were employees. So we were very pleased with that, considering we had over 700 students living in residence halls in addition to the commuters that were coming to campus every day. We are now officially on winter break, so students are back home and will remain at home until spring semester begins on January 19th. So as with fall, we have adjusted our spring semester schedule where we are starting a week late and eliminating spring break. So students will come to campus a little bit later and hopefully stay on campus so we can have another successful semester coming up. We are having a in-person commencement on December 12th. It'll be a drive-through commencement so we can practice social distancing but still honor our graduates who successfully completed all semester. So we did a collective sigh of relief last went home, and we are now just gearing up for spring semester, and hopefully have a little bit of a breather, and we'll continue going forward. So happy holidays, everyone. And thank you for the community for your continued support, and Karina for your support and opportunities with the city. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is Paul, he was on the line earlier. Has he left?
He is no longer on.
He's no
Yes,
longer.
ma'am.
Okay, all right. All right, well, I think that's everyone. But if there's anyone around the table or virtually, board members, if there are any announcements that you would like to share, please do so at this time.
I have one more thing I forgot at the beginning of the meeting, and that is Susan feels very strongly that we should have sweets at our last meeting of the year in honor of Christmas. So we do have a cookie for everybody. Obviously, if you're in the room, that's easy. For our board members who were not able to join us, if you still want your cookie, shoot Susan a note and she'll get in touch with you. But this is the heaviest basket of 20 cookies I have ever picked up in my, so there's chocolate, oatmeal, raisin from the Sweet Easy. Merry Christmas to everybody.
Okay, wonderful. Enjoy. Okay, if there's no other business or any other announcements, thank you all for your time and your talent. I'd like to extend a very happy holiday to each of you. Continue to stay safe, stay well, and wear your mask. And that's all. Thank you. I guess I need to say we are adjourned. So we consider we are now adjourned. Do we need a motion for that, or?
So move.
Okay,
You have a motion and a second.
we have a motion and a second to adjourn. We need a roll call vote.
I think we're good.
I think we're good. I believe I can adjourn the meeting.
Approved.
Thank you.
Thank
Have
you,
a
Gwen.
wonderful rest of the day. Take care now. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Karina and staff.
Bye, Gwen.
Bye.